Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Swain Batty League 2023 Week 4. I am 30, and tonight I am joined by Mitch, aka LCAT. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's an exciting time here in the Swain Batty League. We're finishing up our second round robin, and really seeing who's going to be the best of the best and who's going to be the not so best of the best.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for the games tonight. I'm really curious. So, something that the viewers can't see right now, but that I'm a little bit hyped for is we've got a bit of a lineup change on TSB over there with Candy Jack coming in for Chai. I assume in the bot lane, but I assume at support as well. But I'm not 100% positive.
Yeah, I would expect that as well. I believe he played a preseason game at that position. So yeah, just a straight slot in for Chai, who I think is enjoying his vacation right now.
Absolutely. From the pick ban standpoint, looks like we're focusing pretty hard on Thrifty on the side of TSB with the TF and the Cassiope going out right away. They let the Aurelion Soul through, but A-Soul didn't actually look that great in the last game that this team actually played it when they went up again in their last game last week against Flex Panther. The A-Soul just didn't have time to get online. They kind of got run over. Do you think they've finally tuned in the nerfs, the buffs a little bit, got A-Soul in a decent spot, or do you still think he can run away with it?
No, I think he's in a decent spot, and if anything, I think he's a little bit weaker than maybe the perceived value, at least in the SBL. As far as Phoenix plays go, this is a very small champ pool for him, and this is just one of his, I guess, few comfort picks, and they're gonna first pick it overall in the draft here. They're confident in it, so we'll see how it goes here.
Very
Uh, Cho'Gath and Ari is gonna be answered back by Tizzy and the Smash Bros.
Cho'Gath for, I assume, Mad Cow up in the top lane there. That is a really interesting pick for him. You know, usually Dario Chapman, Mad Cow, liking to get in and be the person who goes in way too deep on absolutely every engage, but somehow comes out on top more often than not. Electing a little bit more of a tankier build. Maybe we see an AP Cho'Gath like we saw out of who was that? Was that I don't have all the games up in front of me. Was that Flex Panther that played that with Thundercomp in the top on that AP Cho'Gath?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Abyssal Mask, Everfrost, and then a couple tank items, Force of Nature, Sunfire. So yeah, I mean, knowing Dario Chapman and the way he plays the game, I expect some damage items coming through on this show.
Oh, absolutely. See the
Um,
J4 ban coming out, respecting what Boncrank was able to do in the top lane in Game 3 of last week. Although they didn't end up winning. He looked more than competent on it, more than comfortable on it. But really targeting him with the Shen, the J4, the Malphite coming out on top here. I think Mad Cow's ready to pop off a little bit on the dinosaur.
yeah, yeah, I think so as well. Oh, there's a Garen ban as well.
So focused.
Yeah, incredibly so. Holy moly, just a bunch of meatballs for the red side ban here.
Maybe they figure they can't actually, ban out Respect. I mean, Respect very comfortable on the Kaisa. We see him targeting the Caitlyn as that's one that Tizzy's been able to lane on. I believe the Caitlyn was the one win that TSB has gotten so far was with Tizzy on the Caitlyn. But another really, really, really comfortable pick that we didn't talk about yet is Maokai over there for Mai Wang. Maokai, the one game that he was allowed to play it last week, he looked absolutely phenomenal on it. His ults were impactful. He was constantly in the right spot at the right time and was just able to really control the map for the jungle. And I know that's one of his favorite champions to play it. So good to see, good for ZSA to have Mai Wang on Maokai.
Yeah, absolutely. 8, 4, and 16 last week on that, and just an incredibly powerful champ overall in the SBL. Great ult, you press it, you go in. A lot of people get rooted, and an excellent team fighter here. Nautilus coming through as well for Zed's Sweaty A-Soul, and that's no surprise there. Albino Joe, I think this is the third game in a row on this for him. You landed a lot of hooks, looking pretty good on it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then Dr. Mundo. Wow. Okay, that actually goes through. So well, that's going to be a doctor. That's going to be Mundo in the top lane for Bong Crank. Do we have any stats on him playing Mundo? I don't think I've ever seen him play that in actual 5v5 League of Legends.
No, I don't think he's picked it so far in the SBL. I don't really recall it historically either, but if I'm not mistaken, we're on 13.6 patch, and I believe he got buffed recently.
Ooh, okay, okay.
So, I mean, someone in Twitch chat can correct me on there, but he can get very tanky and very annoying as this game goes on. Wow. Zed's Sweaty Asol, every week they pick three tanks, three meatballs as his front line. Respect obviously on some kind of really good hyper carry or just a good carry in general in Phoenix plays, holding it down in mid. So no surprise for the team comp here on the blue side.
None whatsoever. You know, I was talking to Wang about it a few weeks ago, and he basically admitted, identified that the picks that they need everybody to play need to focus around respect. At the end of the day, you know, it's a team with several good players who are able to hold their own and provide what they can to the team, but you kind of got to play through your strong bot side, especially when you're up against a team like TSB where the bot side is definitely the weakest part of that team. You know, whoever drafted that intentionally making the bot that weak made mistakes, I think.
Yeah,
It
definitely a
it
glaring
was me.
weakness. That's oh shit, really? Oh
Yeah, it
no!
was me. It was me.
Oh no! Yeah, it is a glaring weakness, and unfortunately, I think a lot of teams recognize that and draft around that and try to abuse that, in whatever way that is, whether it's through the draft or just through the execution of focusing jungle pressure down there. But new support here, new sort of lineup in the bot lane. I think this might be a fresh start here to end the second round robin strong.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what we get to see out of them today. I know we've got two games up for TSB today, so gonna be very interesting to see what it looks like over the course of two games, them playing with this lineup. Another thing I want to call out is the trundle for Cax. You know, we saw last week and the week before Cax trying to play a little bit more. You know, the Zach ban coming out for him. Obviously, that's his number one pick. They didn't want to let him have that, as the one time that Cax got to play Zach is also the one win that TSB has gotten so far this season. But on the Trundle, maybe just a little bit safer than something like the Wukong that we saw last week. We saw him try and go into the back line and try and play it kind of like a Zach, but he just didn't look comfortable on it. It didn't look like he was able to get really any good knockups, any good anything. He kind of just wandered around, jungle farmed, and then rolled over and died.
Yeah, and it looks like he did play it in week two in the loss against High Expectations,
Mm-hmm.
G4 and 0, but there's some experience there, and if anything, this is a good pick against specifically said City Acehole to go back to what I was saying. Look at all these tank targets. I mean, this is kind of
Oh
like a
yeah,
Trundle wet dream. This is it. This is the game for Cax to really show he's not just a Zach one trick, and he's here to play.
absolutely. And then in the bot
Um,
lane, Astrakhan, I don't think there's too much special going on there. Although that being said, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm interested to see Candy on Rakan, since Rakan's strength in the bot lane, and especially as games go later and continue on, is his ability to get those engages, get in, get those knockups, and constantly be where his team needs him to be. I hate that I keep sucking his dick every week, but we saw Trees Rakan was just so impactful, especially in game three last week, where he was able to close out the game basically because of his play on the Rakan and his ability to get into the back line and knock up the key targets. I'm really curious what we're going to see out of somebody that's their first time actually playing in a live SBL event.
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Rakan shooting up to its pool place is essential support hard engager right now. And yeah, like you said, the later this game goes on, the better he becomes because he just can get in so quick. Once you have that battle song online, no one really in the backline is safe, and he only has 2 targets really that he has to worry about. Kaisa for Respect, and then Aurelion Sol for Phoenix Blaze. Oh, let me switch some scenes here.
All right,
Boom.
I am right in. Are you right in as well?
I hope so. Oh my stream, there it is. Boom. All
Do we need
right.
to pause to sync up? We should be good.
Yeah, let me just press equals a bunch. I am 21, 22, 23, 24.
Welcome to
Okay,
Summoner's
should be
Rift.
good.
Cool. All right. And let me turn some nameplates on. I have champion names on. This makes it a little bit
30
easier.
seconds until minions
Just a
spawn.
little bit. Oh God, for the Tizzy was going off in the pregame lobby asking if anybody had a foot fetish. So I don't know why she's asking if anybody wants to catch these toes, but seems to be her fixation tonight.
Yeah. Interesting. Foot fetish, but what do we got here? We got Zed's Sweaty Asol doing a huge
Minions have
wraparound, laying the ward
spawned.
down on the enemy red buff. I mean, it is spotted out here. Albino Joe going wide there on the hook, Thrifty with the fancy feet. And yeah, nothing will come out of the early game here.
Yeah, nothing too much. Just gonna see everybody retreat to their lanes as usual here. No big deal. Oh, I learned this last week. Do you know how hard it was for me not knowing that you could reorder the fucking champs in the pictures? I had to memorize who was in every position and which spot on the map they were actually in. I feel so much better just being able to look at and see top laner across from top laner now.
Hell yeah. Alright. Oh, Albino Joe starting off strong there. Hook on to Tizzy. And Candy Jack, did he level E first? Look at this. No, he landed the W, but not much trade back there. Tizzy already have to chug the health pot.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of expect those early trades to come in the bottom, you know, like we were talking about right before it. And there's another hook from Albino Joe onto Tizzy. Backing off, had to pop the heal there. That's a summoner down. Granted, Joey did spend the ignite, but little bit of some aggressive early trading here.
Oh my
Albino Joe again
God.
onto Candy Jack.
Oh
Jack
my
taking
God.
damage from Respect. Kaisa gets first blooded. 2 minutes 30 seconds. That is not how you want to see the game start out for TSB.
No, not at all, but Albino Joe, what is this guy? This is not the Albino Joe that I've known the last 10 years of the Swain Batty League, man. He's just Hook City over here.
He didn't even hit a single minion.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's welcome to the SBL, to Swift in the chat. Yeah, this is his first
Indeed.
SBL match, and he's already given up first blood this early. Not a good look.
I mean, we kind of thought we were going to see it. I mean, we're just gonna have to see Tizzy and the Smash Bros or Tizzy and the Swinky Toes and Bonk Crank down to the Cho'Gath.
Okay, well here we go. Tizzy and the Smash Bros. It's just gonna be strong side versus weak side in terms of the player personnel here. Dario Chapman trying to even something back here in the top lane, starting off incredibly strong already in this Cho versus Mundo matchup. Bonkrank already has to use that teleport to get back to lane.
You love to see it. Love to see a little bit of even trading back and forth. We see Wang making some moves in on the bottom side of river, going down into the river brush there, trying to make sure that Tizzy and Candy aren't playing too far up, and he's just going to kind of walk away from that, go about his business, go back to base. But I think that's going to be a constant thing for the next, you know, seven plus minutes for the bot lane, assuming that they don't just roll over and die. My Wang coming back in. Excuse me, frickin' camera. You want to show me that?
Oh, Phoenix Blaze has the flash out there. The Ignite's already popped, but the kill back in return. Mid laners using everything and killing themselves in the process. Meanwhile, Dario Chapman is low on health and mana. The flash out, the dodge from the Summoner's Cup. And he's gonna get smacked there. Von Crank's gonna answer back 300 gold for himself.
Oh, that was just kind of a clusterfuck all over the place for a little bit there. And we see another hook coming from Albino Joe onto Candy Jack.
It's not stopping. It's just constant fighting.
God.
This is SBL Week 4, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know that we're going to get a breath this game.
No, I don't think so either. Oh my god. Oh wow, 3-2 so far. You know, ZSA and ASL, they started off the match with the first blood here, and I think they have the tone kind of set. Bonkrank getting that kill back on the top lane, I think that's pretty big.
That was huge for him. I didn't even see what happened. Were they just trading and Chopman overestimated his position as usual? I'm not even sure what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I think it's just probably just an overstay, a greedy overstay, trying to really get that CS lead.
Very classic. We see Resquect and Albino Joe coming in on the bottom tower. Maybe going to be able to... There they go. They get the first plate of the game there. A little bit of extra gold in their pockets. And really the only tower on the map that is pushing any amount. Cass coming in with the Charm to Pillar on the Phoenix Blaze, who gets charmed by Thrifty Senpai. Trying to get back. Is he going to make it? Cax is able to get in and get him the kill. Finally, something impactful from this mid-jungle duo.
Yeah, really nicely done. Very textbook there. They know Phoenix Blaze on this very immobile... Aurelion still has no flash, has no barrier, so an easy trundle into charm combo there. Nicely done for the side of Tizzy and the Smash Bros.
We see Gold kind of equalizing it a little bit. Wang taking some maybe a little bit unnecessary damage from the Ahri, but just kind of sticking around, trying to get experience. He's going in, has the root onto Thrifty Senpai. Phoenix Blaze coming back into lane. Wang's got his little sapling going out. It's ultimately not going to be enough, but the pillar coming in, the charm landing on the Wang. He needs to flash out.
Ooh.
Ultimately, I don't think you're too happy with that exchange as Wang. I mean, you save a little bit of turret health. You don't give away the plates. You get some experience for yourself, but losing flash on the jungle for basically nothing from the other side.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. A little too early on that engage. He knew Phoenix Blaze is coming back. But I don't think he expected Cax to still be in that sort of local area. I think he was just doing his birds there and able to help out.
You love to see it. You'd love to see it, especially in the situation that we're in on the map, with Daria Chopman and Bonkrank going even atop. Not really either one in a significant advantage, though I will say Daria Chopman is up 11 CS as of right now. I think the waves are relatively even matched. But with the bot lane, and as I speak, Albino Joe getting another hook onto Tizzy. Candy Jack just having to retreat back out. Resquect feeling himself a little bit, but ultimately nothing. But I think we need to see that performance out of Cax. I think we need to see him sync up with Thrifty Senpai and be able to do something with this Ahri. I think Swift just pointed it out in chat. Tim woke up and remembered he's one of the 2 best players in SBL history. And I think we might see something a little bit prettier this week out of his Ahri.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's honestly probably a little bit of the focus from this draft from them. At least the execution so far is telling me so. A lot of jungle pressure in the mid lane here. Cax gonna maybe go mid here, but no, he's gonna take a look at bottom lane. And what can they do here? Level 6 for Cax, using the sweeper in the bush here. Albino Joe is, hooks down. This is their opportunity. Cax going in. Oh, they're actually gonna call it off.
And we see Thrifty rotating down to the dragon. Though nothing much going to come of it. TSB doesn't have any vision on the Dragon Pit right now, though obviously they are near it. We see Ward goes down there. We see Candy walking up toward the Tribush. I know when I was talking to Tizzy early on in the season, when I was asking about the differences between Candy and Shy and why they elected to go with Shy at the beginning, a lot of it was due to Candy's lack of wanting to ward. We see
Wang starting the ult here. Ash Arrow is going to try to disengage it, but Albino Joe lands another hook onto Candy Jack, and he should go down here. Double kill for Respect. Nicely done from the side of Zed setting a. So Phoenix Blaze gonna die to the ignite there. Delayed notification.
Just barely ticking down from the ignite there.
Ooh, so I mean an answer back in the mid lane, but Dragon Control should be in favor of the blue side here. Thrifty and Cax, they were sticking around. They want to try to delay this as much as they can for their bot lane to get back. Oh, Thrifty getting incredibly low.
Up here. Albino Joe getting a good hook onto Cax. Cax getting knocked back. He's not going to be able to do much here. That is almost assuredly a very, very dead troll. What was...
that was...
Resquect?
That was super weird. Did he...
John?
He flashed forward to auto. I mean, I guess he was going for the kill on Thrifty, right? That's...
Greedy
he's looking for 2. Looking for 2, but they're gonna get the easy one onto Cax, and they are gonna go back to this dragon. First one of the game should be secured here. On the blue side, gonna be a Mountain Drake.
Little bit scary for Tizzy and the Smash Bros. As ZSA is kind of executing the game plan, the exact game plan that we wanted them to, with the 4-0-0 Kai'Sa up 23 CS in the bot lane. Top is pretty much even. Thrifty's getting a little bit in mid lane with the Ahri, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's just a little, it's going to be scary for them for quite some time. I don't really know if they're going to be able to survive this. I think we see the bot lane tower drop in the next little bit here, but I want to see Tizzy and the Smash Bros. Figure out some other way to get an advantage. Count the bot as a loss, try and play safe, try and do something.
Yeah, and I got the gold values up here on the stream, and 4-0-0 Respect Kai'Sa just running away, almost 5k gold compared to the 2.8k for Tizzy here. So they're gonna start playing through Respect like they do a lot of these weeks here on ZSA, and it's looking good so far.
All right, and I've had it pointed out in chat by Swift that Thrifty was closer to dead than I thought he was. So that's my mistake. Good flash on John's part.
I mean, that's true, but the camera, I don't think we even saw him.
We did.
Us, yeah, it's just like he's flashing forward into nothing.
He was out of frame. Thrifty was out of frame by the time we were looking at it.
Yeah.
Or at least for what I was paying attention to.
Yeah, so a little solid gold lead here for Zed Sweaty Asol. Almost 12 minutes in.
Right about 1.5k we first dragon. Thrifty just looking disgusting with these charms though, constantly hitting Phoenix Blaze with them, but ultimately I don't think it's doing all that much. We're gonna see probably a third plate go down here for Respect and Albino Joe. They're getting a little bit greedy. There's the minion hook I was talking about.
Yeah, and Tizzy getting a little scared there, flashing for safety. I guess why not? I mean, the Nautilus ult was up, so 30 said by going in, the charm's gonna land on the Phoenix Blaze. The Ignite goes down, but Wang coming in from the side for the help here. Thrifty's still gonna pick up the kill for Phoenix Blaze. Asol ult not gonna be anything to dissuade them, and they are hammering down in this mid tower. The Rift Herald activated as well. Should be first tower going over to Tizzy and the Smash Bros.
Beautiful. That's exactly what we need from them to be able to get back in this. You know, obviously they've been able to get, like I've been pointing out, a lot of plates down in the bottom lane, but now that they're able to get first tower, especially in the mid lane, open up the map a little bit, not allow them, you know, allow them a little bit more movement. Maybe Cax have some more impact from this Trundle. Though, that play and kind of what we've seen so far, Wang looks so goddamn comfortable on the Maokai. Just roaming around, throwing out his R. We see a hook from Albino Joe on Cax as I'm speaking. And, oh, is he going to go down from the gigantically fed Kai'Sa? Yes, he is. Candy Jack.
Oh, no.
Soon to follow with the failed flash into the Dragon Pit. Oh, no.
Oh, you hate to see it, but once again, a great hook to start it off from Albino Joe. But meanwhile, top lane, the flash trying to dodge the Maokai snare there, but he's just going to walk it out and die. Bonkrak's going to pick up that kill for himself. So cross-map plays, kill for kill, or I guess 2 for 1 at the end of the day.
That is just not good. There's nothing more to say about it. That is just such a shitty situation to be in for all of them.
Yeah, this is crazy. 6-0-0 Respect on the Kai'Sa. You know, last week, high expectations my team when we played these guys. You know, the strat was basically, okay, just don't let Respect get fed. And guess what? We fed him. I got hooked a bunch of times. we were like, well, that was pretty much the worst early game we could have had. And because when Respect gets ahead on this role in ADC, on a good champ like this, it's going to be incredibly hard to fight. It really, Thrifty Senpai, this 3-1-1 Ahri, he has to be the backline assassin to take out the assassin ADC, I guess? They're both going to be hopping around left and right, and it's really a matter of whether they can get that charm or an Ash Arrow onto Respect and take him out.
I think the problem with a lot of where we would expect disruption to be from Tizzy and the Smash Bros, I mean, Charm onto Albino Joe, a little bit of trading back and forth here. Cax just going to kind of walk in the middle of all of them, get knocked back by my Wang. We got an ult coming towards Thrifty, who's going to need to flash out to safety. Not much happening other than that, but we see another hook from Albino Joe onto Thrifty Senpai.
Gets a flash out. Actually, not wanting to take that hook, and Candy Jack's gonna go in, uses the quickness, gets some charms down, shut down for Dario Chapman. Now albino Joe goes down. Double kill.
What the
for
fuck
Chapman.
was that turn?
Oh no, albino Joe getting a little too hypey there, landing the hooks. Like, yeah, guys, we can get this guy. He just blew his flash, but guess what he didn't blow? His Ari ult. And the turnaround is incredible for Tizzy and the Smash Bros. Dragon is just coming up right now, so they are going to be able to take this.
What a beautiful, beautiful turn of events for Tizzy and the Smash Bros. The little bit of extra aggression that we always see out of Zed Sweaty Asol, getting a little bit too big for their britches, getting a little bit too in there, and then having to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they take the Ari flash and they call it good. They maybe siege the tower a little bit, get some tower damage, but no, they tried to go in. And Tizzy and Smash Bros, they have some tools to sort of counter that. The Ash Arrow was a good start off from Tizzy on the side there, and Candy Jack with the nice follow-up.
Absolutely. Knock up there out of Candy Jack, actually looking quite nice on the Rakan. And he hit one of them. It was still impactful. They were still able to get something out of it. And then we see these two gigantic meatheads up in the top lane just kind of trading spikes and trophies back and forth, but ultimately not a whole lot. We see Cax kind of poking his head up here, but looks like he's going to turn around and decide to go elsewhere.
Yeah, not much you can do against this Mundo. He did, you know, Bonkrank had to pop the Mundo ult there just for safety. Maybe he saw Cax coming in through the river there, and no, my wing, he's on the side here because Thrifty was looking for the dive potentially. But Dario Chapman, he's gonna get jumped on by my wing now.
We got a little bit bigger dragon than we usually have. Thrifty Senpai coming in though. Does he land the charm? He lands the charm onto the Mundo, but Chapman's gonna fall to the Asol.
Oh, arrow goes wide there. It could have been something there. If that actually lands like Bonkrank, that could be a nice little turnaround, but a 1-for-1 at the end of the day here in the top lane. Oh.
See the Kaisa from downtown? Yeah, they're not going for it.
Yeah. I wasn't really scared of Kaisa until last week, and now I'm legitimately terrified whenever that shit lands on me. Because I still don't really know what she does. I just know she flies into the back and kills someone really fast.
She's a spoopy assassin, that's all I know. Yeah. She's terrifying.
Yes, very terrifying, especially for how far he is ahead. Got the gold values up, and it's a runaway here for the bot lane for Zed Sweaty Asol. But, you know, meanwhile, on the other side, Thrifty Senpai still doing really good 4-1-4. But meanwhile, actually, we take the gold values away. Rift Herald has started, and we are already starting a huge team fight around this potentially. Dario is in the bot lane. He does have the TP if they want to try to contest this, but I think, yeah, they're just going to give it up.
Yeah, I don't think you can go in on it at that point. Not with Chapman being so far off, not with having to blow the TP. They just weren't quite feeling it. And honestly, I still think, I don't know, what do you think about the 5v5 potential out of both of these teams? I mean, like you were talking about before, the triple tank taking some turret shots there.
Oh, Chapman with the TP onto the minion straight in the mid lane, and there's the Smonch. Oh, man.
Nom nom nom, get me some diver for dinner.
Damn, okay. Well, real quick, while we have a moment to breathe, I want to do some stack counts here as requested by the viewer. So Asol at 182 Stardust. What does that even mean? I don't know. But Cho'Gath, meanwhile, top lane, never mind, Bonkrank. He's way out in no man's land in the long lane, in the top lane, and he will go down eventually, and Candy Jack's not going to pick that one up for himself. My Wang, he's going to stun Chapman into the tower range, the ult to follow through, but this show is just so big, he doesn't even care.
Gigantic. We're sitting at 9 fee stacks on the show. He's got just a bit of health. He's just a thick dino boy. Sitting at 4.4k health on the Cho'Gath. My goodness.
Yeah, 9 stacks on Feast for the viewers here, so gaining 1,080 bonus health. Very nice.
You know, we were just talking about the gold difference. We see it's basically an even game at this point. 600 gold in favor of Zed Sweaty Asol, but one Drake to one Drake. They do have the Rift Herald. They are going to be able to use it to a decent amount of effect on one of the tier 2 towers, but ultimately that lead that they had just kind of dissipating after that little bit too far of a dive that they had a few minutes ago.
Yeah, yeah, back in the mid lane, it's yeah, they maybe their own worst enemy here in this the mid game, but still feeling pretty good about their chances. And to go back to a question you actually had about the team fight capabilities,
Mm-hmm.
ZSA, so I mean, I said it in the draft, they always pick these super heavy frontline tank comps and then just the two damage, and I think that does obviously very well for team fights. But meanwhile, Thrifty Senpai, he is gonna get locked down. Yep, there's the Ariel to try to escape it. Malkael gonna hit him in the back there. Can they go by Wang? Yet he sees blood and he goes for a flash snare. Gonna get that kill onto Thrifty Senpai, and they're gonna keep chasing. Candy Jack trying to peel away. Dizzy coming in from behind, has to flash out. Cho'Gath with the rupture to save her life potentially, but Albino Joe gonna flash and stun. Down goes Tizzy. Respect gonna go in and pick that one up for himself.
Go in on that, my guy. Just let him die.
Oh, geez, that's the worst. That's when you play Rakan, you sometimes have to look at your teammates dying. You never want to do that, but it's one of those situations where you have to let it go, and it's gonna be the second dragon for ZSA still here.
Oh, that feels so bad. Right as we're talking about the game kind of evening up, getting to a point where their lead was evaporating a little bit, we see, sure, Thrifty gets caught out a little bit. The Ahri is almost able to make it away, but then the rest of Tizzy and the Smash Bros just kind of one by one walk into their death afterwards. A little bit questionable on exactly what they were doing there.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the Dragon straight into Baron startup, but they're actually gonna call this one off right away. Maybe looking at the death timers and realizing, hey, everyone's already back up and they're probably halfway to Baron. Let's not throw this game any more than we sometimes might have by going in a little too hard there. And yeah, the red side's gonna scope this one out and see that they backed off the Baron. Whew, okay. Gonna take a drink here.
We might finally have a moment to breathe and get some drinks. One thing I want to point out real quick, look over on the bottom side of the red jungle. Look how much vision they were able to get in there after that last little scrap that they had, and the the couple of questionable kills and follow-through deaths that were down there. They've got some good visibility on there, going to pay its dividends to giving them a little bit more freedom and just doing whatever they want around the rest of the map. We see a bunch of pinks going down onto Baron from Tizzy and the Smash Bros. Are they considering this? I can't imagine they're just going to start it up here.
No, I mean, they definitely don't want to actually go for it. They want to try to bait ZSA to walk into one of these corridors and land something. Rupture, Rakan W, Thrifty Senpai with a good charm here. And they got those pink boards there. They are sort of baiting this bush here. Maybe gonna try to steal this blue away from Wang. And Asol is just coming back to the fight. Respect on the bottom side of this map as well. And they're gonna see Boncrank. He is singled out and he has to pull the flash.
They get the flash out of Boncrank. You hate to see the missed arrow coming from the Ashe. So close to having something. Honestly, a lot of these engages from them, the knockups that they do get, being able to get in on them, hit the charm onto Respect. Speak of the devil,
there it is!
Respect goes down!
That's the fight they were looking for, and Respect gonna be the first to fall here. Boncrank using the CP in the mid bush there, and he's run straight into that backline. My Wang to try to use that Malkael to re-engage here, but Dario Chapman's leading the charge. So tanky on this Cho'Gath, but Asol is shredding down Tizzy, and they're gonna have to walk away. That Asol damage from the side, incredible.
Looking a little bit scary, that Asol. He's just got a lot of damage. Just a lot of damage.
250 Stardust here for the folks at home, and Threshold, I don't even know. Where is that? It is alt, and it's passive. Let's see. 7.8%. 6.5 bonus threshold. I don't know what I'm looking at here, folks, but that's, yeah, he's just gonna get incredibly strong as this game goes on, and we're kind of reaching the point where that sort of the weak early game that he had against Thrifty in the laning phase doesn't really matter.
Yeah. We're just gonna see a massive amount of damage out of that, and as you pointed out multiple times with this team comp that ZSA Asol comes in here with the 3 chunky, tanky fuckers and Respect, but now add another bit of damage into that. Add another bit of explosive damage that they're able to pull out of nowhere. And Tizzy and the Smash Bros are going to have to find some way to not let them just hide behind the big tanky boys.
Yeah, yeah, and really that last fight there, Thrifty landing that charm under the Squect, that's pretty much the best win condition they can get to start off any fight here, and they're gonna keep looking for that. Respect though is gonna have both summoners up for this, Cleanse and Flash, so it is gonna be tough to actually take him down here. They're gonna need layered CC, Ash Arrow, Rakan, something. Cho'Gath Rupture obviously has been landing. A lot of them have been landing pretty well here. Yeah, and what do we got? It's just basically an over 1k gold lead for Zed Sweaty Ace. So this game is still so incredibly close here at 25 minutes.
Yeah, not that much of a gigantic advantage for either team. Everybody's just kind of doing their own thing, just kind of hanging around, getting some farm, trying to set up vision and control over this Baron. Maybe they're baiting the start here, like we were talking about before. Some early damage onto it. But we see Zed Sweaty Ace coming in to respond. The ult out of My Wang, hitting basically everybody in there. Disguise Ascend, hitting the Cax, getting hooked by Albino Joe. That's a lot of damage coming up from the Aurelion Soul. They continue to chase them down. We see Tizzy get knocked up. They might be able to make it out of this one. No, Respect is able to get back there and annihilate Tizzy as they continue to chase. Going in on Dario Chapman, the gigantic dinosaur himself. He's able to go down. Candy Jack again going in, trying to buy his team a little bit of time, but at the end of the day, only getting himself killed. Zed Sweaty Ace going to walk away from that very, very, very happy with a 4-for-1 exchange.
Yeah, and Wang really leading the charge there. He flashed in. No, yeah, I think he flashed in and really gets into the middle of Tizzy and the Smash Bros. And they actually take out Cax first out of all the people. He did have the Trundle ult going, but it really didn't take enough. It didn't ramp up enough to steal all those stats, right? So it sort of steals them over time. And taking him out at the beginning is actually really strong because they lose that front line that they need to try to protect Tizzy, try to protect Thrifty Senpai. Tizzy, yeah, with the not ult, has to escape and Respect. He did it last week, and he keeps doing it on this Kaisa. He has backline access on this champ, and at an 8-2-5 in Kaisa, he's gonna shred any squishies he gets into with a 1v1.
Absolutely, and that's the scary part with the team comp from Tizzy and the Smash Bros. Is, you know, chat going off about this a little bit now. Blab making a good point that, you know, Ahri could win lane, but she's not going to out-carry. And as the game goes longer and longer, you have this terrifying 8-2-5 Kaisa. You have the Aesol that is only getting stronger from this point, and you have everybody on these comfortable picks where they're able to control the map very well.
Wait a minute. Oh, Respect. He went into the pit, but I don't think it matters here, but maybe it does. The front line for Zed Sweaty Aesol, they're gonna try to start it off. This guy's descent is gonna be huge. A lot of damage coming through. Chopman's gonna be the first to fall. Another one. Candy Jack goes down. Now they're just flashing. They're just going hard. They're saying kill, kill, kill. Get everything that they can. Triple kill for Respect. Third dragon of the game for blue side, and they have complete map control.
Dear fucking God. Again and again and again, we see My Wang on the Maokai inserting himself into the enemy team's asshole and not letting them do a goddamn thing about it. Just going in there, hitting the ult, and then the rest of the team just standing still while Respect hops his little void butt into the back line and starts picking them apart.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the easy mid inhibitor take here for the blue side. Spawns are now coming back in for the red side. They're gonna rotate to this top here. Got the minion wave already. Still have the Baron buff going, and they should easily take out this tier 2 here. Really nothing they can do to try to defend it. Thrifty just trying his best to clear the minions. But yeah, it will go down. Oh wait, is Mundo just headbutting it?
He was absolutely headbutting it. I did not know that. Is that a skin thing?
I don't know, dude. That's cool as fuck though.
I don't think I've ever noticed that before.
Yeah, that is cool.
Somebody in chat asking if the second Rift Herald was dropped. It was. It was actually dropped in River, just below mid lane, and I don't know if it actually connected.
Yeah.
I did see it get dropped.
Yeah. Oh, Mundo headbutt came with the rework, not skin specific. Wow, that's cool.
That's fucking sick.
That is pretty sick. It kind of perfectly plays into his soul persona.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, got about an 8k gold lead here for the blue side. Zed Sweaty Aesol completely in control. They have soul points on the board, so when that comes up, they have the objective to sort of force Tizzy and Smash Bros to come in and probably lose another team fight, if I'm being honest. And it's not looking good here for the red side.
Not looking good at all. I don't really know what their path back into this game looks like. Even if they can get some sort of engage, they don't have the front-to-back team fight. They don't have anybody that's super fed. The 0, 4, and 6 Ashe really, unfortunately, isn't doing a whole lot. The Ahri at this point, unless she's able to catch out Resquek, catch out Phoenix Blaze, and do something and to them before their tank line gets there, ultimately, it seems like they're just going to continue to fall apart every time they meet up as a group.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and it's such a tall task for Tizzy and Smash Bros. And I say that there's a Sky's Descent, that the damage from the 2 damage dealers on Zed Sweaty Acel, that's a deletion of Ashe.
That is a very astute way of putting it.
Well, you know, I was gonna say that's they have to find Resquek somehow. They have to get to the backline. I don't know what Thrifty has to do, flash and then triple dash Ahri ult into the backline and land a charm, but even then I don't think that's a kill guaranteed. There's so many good peeling tanks in the backline here, but the charm's actually gonna land. As I say this, a positive caster curse, but it doesn't even matter. Albino Joe's gonna smack him into the back here. They're gonna keep diving for Resquek. They finally do get that shutdown. Damage is gone for Zed Sweaty Acel, and now it's just gonna be a meat fight here, slapping around here. Double kill for Cax, so they're gonna keep going in here. Candy Jack's gonna get out barely alive. My Wang have to flash back into Dario Chapman. Can he get out here? Phase Rush, he's moving pretty fast. And yeah, he's gonna get out.
He walks out, he's fine, you know, makes it a little bit, but even though you get the damage dealers there a little bit, I don't think ultimately it's gonna make that big of a difference. We're still just in the same situation that we were before. The gold lead is still damn near 8K. Their base has started to fall apart. The mid inhib is down. The top tier 3 is the last one standing before the Nexus turrets. And you're gonna have to pull off so many of those fights in a row in order to stand any sort of chance at this point.
Yeah, and really the only saving grace here is that Resquek did use both summoners in that last fight, so yeah, they're gonna have to once again look for the charm, look for an Ashe Arrow, something to take him out to start this one. But honestly, if you do, Phoenix Blaze is so scaled up on this Aurelion, so the Sky's Descent, he just starts every fight with it, and it's getting some of these guys down to half health right from the get-go, and that's gonna be impossible to win really any fight when you start it that way.
When your moment of solace is looking at the 13, 3, and 5 Kaisa and being like, well, at least she popped her summoners on the last fight, I don't think you're in a very good spot. I don't think that's I don't think that's what you want your silver lining to be.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is it. This is potentially the fight to decide the game. Never mind. Zed Sweaty Acel. They're like, yeah, you can have the dragon. We're gonna take a potentially more powerful buff here to finish the game, and they're gonna get Baron buff and just go in to the base that's completely undefended.
The Mundo split, the Mundo head smash into the inhibitor.
Yeah, yeah, he's just gonna walk away, probably regroup with his team here, and Phoenix Blaze is going in. Gonna use the ult a little bit early there, not gonna land as much damage as I think he wanted it there, but I don't think it even matters. The 5 strong Baron buff here in the mid lane, they're gonna take mid inhib. It's a matter of whether they take the third one for shits and giggles or not, or do they just go for the win?
Oh, I think
ult's gonna start it off. The hook. Cax is gonna go down unstoppable for Phoenix Blaze. Looking really tough here for Tizzy and Smash Bros to try to win this one. Resquek gonna pick up another fight, and it's just gonna be some tower shots taken. My Wang is gonna go down. Double kill for Thrifty, actually a 2 for 2 to start this one off. Will it matter?
Resquek still alive. I don't think it matters. I don't think even if Thrifty were as fed as he could possibly be at this point, him and Dario are going to stand much of a chance against the onslaught that they're facing down with all these supers, Baron minions, and so much damage coming out. Even the gigantic dinosaur going to drop here. Let's see if they take some time to kill Dario Chapman, put him in his place before killing the Nexus. Absolutely they did. Who am I kidding?
He did his damage to take out Resquek there. Lands a good rupture, but not going to be enough. Zed's Sweaty Acel gonna pick up the win here against Tizzy and the Smash Bros.
Holy shit. That champion damage out of Phoenix Blaze on the Aurelion Soul. 36.9k champ damage, highest in the game. Honestly, not that surprising. Like you were pointing out, just constantly letting the skies descend on everybody. You're gonna do some motherfucking damage at that point.
Yeah, oof, got that damage chart up here. Aurelion Sol leading the charge here at nearly 37k, but Resquek not too far behind, and Dario Chapman actually doing a considerable amount of damage for a Cho'Gath. Top damage for his team.
I think the biggest difference that we're looking at here is just while there's not that huge of a difference between the top two of the two teams, the next two highest damage totals just quite a bit of a difference there with the Ashe and the Trundle versus the Mundo and the Maokai.
Yeah, without a doubt here. Just scrolling through some stats here. I'm a support player. I like to look at the vision. 12 control wards purchased for Albino Joe. Doing so well on support. Stocks up Joey, honestly. He's a 111 vision score, just blazing the way.
Joey looked absolutely phenomenal today. The amount of on-point Nautilus hooks, able to get his team the right positioning, able to get those early catchouts and get Resquect fed. I think a lot of that credit has to go to Joey.
Yeah, they started off the lane strong, and it was just, I think, 5 or 6 hooks in a row. And you just can't do anything against that, pre-level 6. It's just, Ashe and Rakan just have really nothing they can do to try to survive that. But yeah, oh my God. Well, that's a Giga Banger. I said it in the announcement when the stream went up. It's only Giga Bangers tonight, folks, and it's gonna be another one coming up here. Game 2, high expectations going up against Flax Panther. Do not touch that browser. We are coming right back.
See ya.